Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. This is your tarot and oracle reading for your mid-October love messages. So I need to shuffle up the cards, but as I do this, I just want to let you guys know that I do have my online tarot reading course up. So if you want to learn how to read tarot very thoroughly, very confidently, go ahead and check that out, okay? So the first card out for you, it looks like this. Beautiful. And it says balance. Love is not always about agreeing for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. So what that really says to me is that you may be, coming head to head with some of the people in your life right now. And, people may not be necessarily agreeing with you on everything, or you may not be agreeing with your partners or friends or family members on everything right now. There could be some disputes, there could be some debates, or things that you just think differently about. It doesn't have to lead to a big argument. It doesn't have to be a screaming match. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic. But I definitely feel like the whole blessing and beauty in relationships itself is not only just the happiness and the love, but also the people in our life challenge us to think differently, or to maybe take on some new energies, because we are all a very unique vibration. We all sing a very unique song, a very unique note in this tapestry of life. And by connecting with one another, we can share our wisdoms and our perspectives and new energies with each other. And that's how energy moves around and grows and evolves. And one of the big ways that that happens is through challenge, is through not seeing eye to eye and talking through these issues. So Gemini, it definitely feels like a month where you may be having a lot of conversations, trying to get on the same page as the people around you, or at least back to a place where things can be balanced and harmonious if it doesn't feel balanced and harmonious. We have the new moon eclipse. Expect powerful change. Wow. First off, new energies coming in for sure. A new path coming in for sure, but definitely there's going to be some very big developments in your love life this month. I can see that, certainly. We have the solar plexus chakra here with prayer. And we see here some lemonade, and there's two paths. It's do I take the city route? Do I go out to the country? I don't know. So I am wondering, I kind of see this vision for a lot of you. This could be discussing things with your partner or potential partners, even the people around you, your friends, your family. What does the future look like for us? Where will we live? What will we do? What will my life look like? And I don't know, maybe chatting about that over a nice beverage, whether that is coffee or tea or whatever. So yeah, it feels like a lot of big life changes are in the air. People may be moving out of your life or moving into your life, moving back to where you live, or there could even be you planning some sort of big move or change of scenery. It definitely feels like the energies are moving quite a lot. And it's okay, what direction do we want these energies to move in? And that may be what you're discussing with the people around you. So looking at the tarot, we have the Hierophant, which is a card of marriage. So I do wonder for some of you if you are working on your marriage or deciding what you want for your marriage. If you're dating somebody you're not yet married, you may be having a lot of discussions about that, or, you may be getting married for some of you. Even if you're single, you may be meeting somebody that you might marry or have some sort of spiritual sacred union for sure. Even if you don't believe in marriage legally, this could be just connecting with somebody on a level that feels deeply like a soul tie, you can feel when there's something off about them. You can feel when they're feeling happy. You can feel them thinking about you, because they'll just pop into your head and you're I know they're thinking about me right now. That level of soul tie, it's so interesting, because I feel like some people's experience in life, it's they can't even imagine what it's like to have that soul tie. Other people's experience, if they did the work to really connect spiritually, they may have a ton of soul ties and experience that with everyone they meet. They just know. They have that telepathic bond with pretty much everyone they connect with on a deep level. So I feel you experiencing some soul ties. And, some of these soul ties, they may not even be people that are in your life anymore. These could be people you haven't spoken to in months, but you still can feel when they're thinking about you and know what they're up to in a sense, without even stalking them online or knowing what they're up to. You just know. We have the Queen of Pentacles coming out in reverse here, okay? So there could be a feminine energy that could be older, could be in like a position of authority over you, that is really like kind of selfish, stuck in their ways, and very closed-minded to anyone who's like different from them. Or they could just be expecting to be like waited on hand and foot. Now, this could be a parent figure for you or a partner. This could even be like a boss or something. You know, there's some sort of stressor here, some sort of energy and influence coming from someone who, I don't know, they may be just not approving of you or your relationships. We have the Hangman in reverse. Why are you making yourself a martyr? Why are you making yourself a victim and keeping yourself around these influences? Yeah, you're not obligated. You're not tied to a certain location or a certain job or a certain family, you know. You need to keep in mind, like, you only have one life to live. And it's like, if you always dreamed, for example, of moving to a different country, you know, don't feel this weird sense of obligation to stay by family that's like toxic anyways, you know? That's sort of what I'm seeing here. Like, don't feel this weird sense of obligation to stay at your job out of duty, even when it's like a toxic atmosphere. There's people here who are really like, I don't know, overly conservative, overly slow to change, overly closed-minded. You know, don't make yourself a martyr by keeping yourself around those individuals. Another thing that I'm seeing here for some people watching, not everyone, two things. For some of you, this could be like you're having a hard time with your love life because you live in a very like small conservative area, and what you want does not align with the people from that town that you live in. Now, and also just the lack of people in general. And then for others of you, this is a message of like, you do live in like a city or somewhere more populated where there's a ton of people, and perhaps like you are in a relationship, or you know, maybe you get like your dream job, but it requires you to move out into the middle of nowhere, and you have this fear of like, well, what the heck? Who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to meet? So I'm seeing those two realities sort of on your mind. You know, it may not even be in reality yet, but it's like thinking like about a move. I don't know why moving seems to be a big thing that's coming through for Gemini in your love life, that ties into your love life somehow. We have the Two of Swords. I'm not making a decision. I am staying still, protecting my heart, just taking care of myself and letting the story unfold in front of me, letting the story tell itself almost. So that's interesting. We have the Four of Swords right next to that. Yeah, these are both cards of inactivity, rest, self-protection. These are cards of pouring time, energy, consideration into yourself, you know, making sure that your house is clean, your laundry is put away, you're learning the new things that you want to learn. You're not necessarily trying to force or chase any relationship at all, not trying to force any connection to work. And also, you just may be feeling a little bit more lethargic this month. And so you're not necessarily, I don't know, being overly social. And then we have the High Priestess coming out in reverse, right underneath the Hangman in reverse. So, you know, your intuition knows that certain things are going to change, certain things have to change, and these are like pretty big life changes. But a part of you is like not wanting to release or like sort of fully accept something that may be happening, or like that needs to happen. Especially with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here, there's definitely like an influence of somebody you need to spend less time with, or some sort of change that needs to be made, because it's like you're just sort of victimizing yourself by staying in a negative atmosphere. Very interesting. Also, I would recommend trying to like avoid being stubborn yourself, or like avoid, I don't know, being like my way or the highway yourself. Definitely listen to what other people's thoughts, feelings, and perspectives are, where they're coming from, and try to understand that. I feel like this week that I'm filming this, the astrology and the energy, it just feels like a lot of us are at this place where, you know, we feel like we sacrificed so much in our relationships or to get to where we're currently at. And I feel like this week in particular, a lot of people are not wanting to sacrifice more. You know, they're wanting to expect more in return. And so I just feel like misunderstandings can happen really easily at this time. I feel like people may have a harder time finding common ground. It's like, I've done enough learning and sacrificing and trying to understand, like, it's time for you to give in to my ways of thinking and where I'm coming from here. So try not to fall into that too much, okay? But on the other hand, obviously, like, that may serve you very well depending on the situation that you're in, because especially if you're like connecting with somebody who takes way too much from you, then it's a good thing to be like, no, I'm not giving more. But if it's like a normal person that you love and you can see yourself spending your life with, it's important to like continuously keep them in mind and listen to their perspective on things, and maybe sometimes make a compromise or make a sacrifice. Like, well, I don't necessarily view things the same way you do, or I want something slightly different, but I do want this to work and I do want you to be happy, and this is one of those areas of life that I don't feel so strongly about, so I feel like I can make a sacrifice, or I can make a compromise, something like that. I don't know. So thank you guys for joining me. Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of these October love messages. And definitely watch for your moon and rising, or not moon, I keep saying that, moon and Venus in particular, because those signs rule over your relationships and love life. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below. I'd love to hear your stories, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. I will be posting the weeklies shortly after I post these videos. And then this upcoming weekend, I am posting some more videos. I forget what they are. So just subscribe for that. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there, my shamanic life coaching sessions there, and my online tarot reading course. And I'm looking for new students, so please sign up for that, okay? All of that's on my website. Link is in the description and the comment section. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.